let's talk about the Capcom Five. Most people know that one of the GameCube's many problems was a major lack of third-party support. In fact, it's still something of a problem to this day, and it seems Nintendo is finally addressing it with the Wii U. But in 2002, this situation was far more dire than it is now. That's why Nintendo fans, including myself, were happy, to say the least, when the Capcom 5 were announced. What are the Capcom 5, you may be asking? 5 games made by Capcom, who would have guessed, that would be exclusive to the GameCube. Piano 3, Dead Phoenix, Viewtiful Joe, Killer 7, and Resident Evil 4. It should be obvious why this was a pretty big deal, especially with Resident Evil 4 in the mix. In our minds, this would mark the resurgence of the GameCube, until it all turned out to be a lie. Well, PR miscommunication. In fact, only RE4 was guaranteed exclusive. The others were up for grabs for any console who wanted it. So what happened? Piano 3 came out first, and it was a flop. This was not a good start. Dead Phoenix was cancelled. This is even worse. Killer 7 was delayed about 2 years, had a simultaneous PS2 release, and also didn't sell well. Though it was a Suda51 game, so it was probably quite good, though I haven't played it myself, so I can't say. RE4 and Viewtiful Joe both started as GameCube exclusives, but were later ported to the PS2 with extras. RE4 sold very well, of course, it was RE4. Viewtiful Joe didn't have great sales, but they were good enough to spawn a sequel, which got a simultaneous PS2 release, a DS game, an anime, and appearances in both Tatsunoko vs. Capcom and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So, not everything GameCube fans were initially promised. But we got some good games out of it, though they experienced varying degrees of success. Now, let's begin this Let's Play of the second most successful of the Capcom 5, Viewtiful Joe.
The shadow moved ominously across the land, dyeing the sky with blood and pounding the earth. Those who still have faith in justice and honor, valor and goodness call out his name. The ultimate superhero, the only one who can save the world from extinction. If he can't do it, no one.
Oh, me? Viewtiful Joe.
Welcome to my Let's Play of Viewtiful Joe, everyone. We will be playing on V-rated today. I thought about doing Ultra V-rated, but I didn't want it to be too challenging, because Ultra V-rated is pretty tough. Like, if you play Devil May Cry, it's like Dante Must Die. So I'm not going to go there. V-rated is a nice balance of difficulty while still being fun. Like, I don't even really enjoy Ultra V-rated mode.
Captain Blue fights with every ounce of his being. He fights against the dark forces of evil for what is right. This is all that Blue has ever wanted, to do the right thing.
Come on, Blue! You have to save the world! We can't do it without you!
Joe, is this your idea of a date movie? I had a more romantic time eating popcorn in the lobby. Joe, honey, oh, why don't you show me some off-screen action?
Whoa, Sylvia! Cut it out! I said cut it out! They don't show these old movies all the time, you know. I've been looking forward to this forever.
Well, I've been looking forward to this for a long time, too. We haven't been out on a date in forever.
Hey, Stop that! This is the best part.
The dark side prevails. Now you'll see just how flimsy your sense of justice is, Captain Blue. Now I lose. The world is mine.
Go away!
Come on!
And thus, Captain Blue was brought to his end. Goodbye, beautiful world. Nothing will ever be the same.
Oh, man. I missed the most important part.
Hey, I've seen this scene before.
You know why? Because this flick hit the screens way back when we were still little babies.
But that guy in the blue mask, I know I've seen him somewhere.
The girl is mine and shall serve as the object of my revenge.
Wow, that was unreal. What the heck?
What's going on? Let go of me! Don't do something!
Well, what's happening? It's Six Machine. Hey, hey! Whoa, 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 whoa! Hey, wait a minute. Am I inside the movie?
Correct, my young friend. I am Captain Blue. I am no longer able to fight because I have been defeated. You must take my place as the new action hero.
That voice, it really is Captain Blue! Whoa! Hey, can I get your autograph?
No, I am already gone. I beg of you to take up the torch of justice, young movie lover. Now go. The world is in danger. Your lady friend is waiting for you.
Cool. A real V-Watch. I always wanted to try one on. Toe!
Yes, Joe, you are inside the movie, and the implications of that are many, in fact. And we won't even begin to discover those for a little while. So let's get started. The game plunges you right in, telling you how to dodge attacks. Generally, enemies will attack one of two ways, either high or low. And you can just tap up or down on the control stick to dodge in the appropriate direction. Not much more to that. And then after you do that, enemies are stunned, as you can see here, and you can just beat them up mercilessly. Those frog things are not in adult or kids mode. They appear only in B-rated or higher, and they explode if they hit you, so you have to punch them away. Not really difficult, but they're just kind of annoying. And if you don't pay attention, like I wasn't right there, they can hit you and kill you. You notice I took 4 hearts of damage there. Normal Joe takes twice as much damage as Viewtiful Joe, and damage is doubled in V-rated mode. In Ultra V-rated, it is quadruple what you would take in adults, and I guess 8 times what you would take in kids. Food restores your health, usually by 1 heart, but there are bigger meals you can get, like a full value meal you'll find later, that restores more. Yeah, watch out for those thorns down there, they'll hurt you just as much as getting punched. There's another frog, which, if you punch it too close to that wall, it'll explode, it'll explode when it hits the wall and still damage you, so you gotta be careful. Like, I can't take any damage right now because I only have 4 hearts left. The game is nice enough to start you with enough hearts to stay alive for 1 hit in V-rated, but you don't even get that in Ultra V-rated. enemies do 8 damage and you only have 5. Those dancers, you can't damage them when they're spinning like that. You have to wait for them to attack you. Or you can use slow-mo, which you'll see momentarily.
Young Joe, it looks like you haven't awakened to your true powers as a hero. I'll show you how to be a real hero. Come and get me!
This is the first Captain Blue fight. He can't actually hurt you during this fight at all. Like I'll get hit later, and you'll see I don't take any damage. But still, it's good to avoid him because your rating. You notice I've gotten ratings like, at least once by now. The damage rating isn't based on how much damage you take, but how many times you get hit. So yeah, it's good to avoid getting hit as much as possible. And I'm not going to go for all rainbow V's or whatever. I'm probably going to try to get all of the film canisters. You see I have 30 right now in the upper right-hand corner. But I'm not going to go for rainbow V's because that's a lot of trouble. I've done it once and I'm not really keen on doing it again.
Ah, your hero-ness has awakened. Now the Vwatch is responding to your hero instincts deep down inside. When the Vwatch starts to glow, say the word Henshin!
Henshin and don't go, baby! You want some? We'll come and get it.
When Miss Joe's transformation comes our first VFX power, slow-mo. See, you see right there, that enemy was spinning, and normally I couldn't damage it before, but now I can slow-mo punch it. Also, slow-mo punching or kicking a dazed enemy will send them flying, whereas before you just combo them. And if you hit multiple, you get multipliers on your points. And use the points to buy power-ups, which you'll see in the next episode. Also, as you saw there, an enemy that you send flying will automatically bring you any film canisters it connects with. Also, some enemies like that, if you punch them enough in slow-mo, will be dazed and let you start a combo or a multiplier, which is pretty handy sometimes. Just get rid of them. And right now I'll have a slow-mo, so I can't do anything too flashy, but still, it's pretty cool. I remember when I first played this game, it was really nice. And these enemies are definitely not in adult until a very long time. I don't think that they're in there until the 4th or 3rd level, but here they are in the very first segment of the 1st level. I think Ultra V-Rated has them even earlier than that. This is the first mini-boss. He's the Joker, I think his name is? Yes. And he is recurring. Also, you see there that if you get hit in slow-mo, most of the time, you won't take damage. You'll slow-mo dodge, and it costs a chunk of your VFX gauge. There are some attacks, though, that will hit you regardless. Like, anything involving fire will still damage you. Anything involving electricity will still damage you. And there are some other ones as well. But a lot of things can be dodged, so if you find yourself messing something up, if you just hold the L button really fast, you might be able to escape taking damage. Because he dodges it, so you don't get hit, so it doesn't hurt your rating. And here, the key to getting a good V-points rating on this segment is to get the coins out of the slot machine first, before you get the key. Like so. And there's some canisters up there. Most, actually all canisters are permanently missable if you go beyond the area where they are. Like, I'm pretty sure from here I could go all the way back to this. No, I couldn't actually, now that I'm in the mini-boss. But before I got there, I could go all the way back to the start of the level and get anything I missed, but that's not common. Most of the time, after I go through that door there, anything that was back here, I can't get. Be attentive. And they like to hide the canisters in places that are pretty uncommon, so. Ooh, a D on time. Oh well. No damage, though. There's another frog. You notice targets appeared on those axes there after I started the combo. That shows you some things that are destructible in the environment that you might not have noticed before. And destroying one gets me a hamburger, so if I was actually taking damage, that would be good. Make sure I didn't miss any canisters up there after I got those ones up there just now. Combo, those things take 2 hits, obviously, to kill. And there's the ninjas. The ninjas actually take 3. Also, you see me dodge one. The ninjas do 4 attacks in a row. And unlike other enemies that hit you, they don't stun you and knock you back. They keep you there. So they can potentially hit you with all 4 attacks, which will really hurt. Like, that would kill me now, after 3. They do 2 hits apiece. Anyway, they have 2 patterns. Either alternating, or they'll do 2 of the same, alternate, and then go back. So like, they'll do low, low, high, low. Like, right there, you just want to do high, high, low, high. Or he could do high, low, something like that. But it's one of those 2 patterns, just where they change, where they start changes. And you can always tell from the first 2 hits are telegraphed, they have the skull marks on them. But the second 2 are not, so you have to be careful. And this is, I can't remember all their names, but cowboy shoots bullets. And one really cool thing about slow-mo and this game in general is that you can slow-mo punch bullets back at the people who shot them. And combo them to death. Like so. Enemies here. You notice that every hit gets me about 2 Vs there. Each V is worth 10 Viewtiful, and then whatever multiplier you get will increase that. And as I mentioned before, Viewtiful are used for buying power-ups, which you can only buy during intermission or at the end of an act. Chapter, I forget what term this game uses. Those enemies have propellers, and if you slow-mo propellers, they slow down enough that the enemies have to land, which is pretty cool. No, they don't take long to get back up. That thing I just got, well, you probably noticed when you're getting those little canisters before. Those refill a tiny portion of your VFX meter. And you get one every time you alternate between a punch and a kick. So like, if I punch an enemy and then I kick him, I'll get one of those. And every 10 one of those, see, I punched and then I kicked. Every 10 of those you get, you'll either get a really big one that refills a lot of your gauge, or you'll get that thing, which stuns all enemies on screen. And you notice the V-Watch is glowing there? That'll usually happen the first time you have a puzzle involving a VFX power. The watch will glow to tell you that you should try a VFX power. In this case, I used slow-mo to slow down the propeller on that platform like I did on those enemies earlier, so I could go down and punch the switch. And I was not paying attention and almost just got beat up by that enemy. But luckily I noticed in time. I used slow-mo to help me dodge that first hit because I don't think I could have reacted in time otherwise. I'm just going to ignore those 3, or 2. Not worth it. Because I already have a rainbow V. And fighting them probably would have hurt my time enough that I wouldn't have gotten it. I'm going to go back and check to see if I missed any of the canisters, because having 48 just seems odd. But I did not. So, we will press onward. Slowly. Can't wait till I get Mach speed.
Just go for it!
I have to fight enemies until one of them shows up holding the key. And in a situation like that, where there's 2 enemies doing opposite attacks, your best bet is to just jump out of the way and start over. Because that's not going to end well. Sometimes the enemies will roll. Yeah. It takes a really long time in slow-mo, so if you're trying to keep your multiplier going, that's pretty much an ender there. If they decide to roll. At this point, anyway. Because you notice when I got 50 canisters, it gave me another chunk of my gauge there. And there's 250 canisters per level, which means the gauge can get quite long. 3 times as long as it was before. Or, yeah, just about. Which is pretty nice. Lets you do really long, awesome combos. Right now I'm stuck doing things like that. It's rare that that enemy will come back still stunned, so That was a nice bonus, so it didn't get me very far. I keep getting hit. I haven't actually gotten hit, but I keep having to dodge things. And the next set of enemies won't spawn, so you beat the current one, so I can't just like rush onward and get the key fast. There's the key. You have to pay close attention to your meter so that you don't switch out of Viewtiful mode, because that is a pain, and it refills really slowly for now. There's a power-up you can buy later that'll double the rate at which it recharges, which is really nice. But for now, I'm stuck with this, and I'm just going to ignore those two. I probably shouldn't have, so I could get a better score on the V point, but whatever. Got some more canisters, and now my VFX meter is twice its original size, which is really handy. After every act, it'll reset to the base size, so you can't get a huge one or anything, but within the level, it's really handy. Slow-mo to make sure I don't get shot. Press on. Like, this is probably the first really tricky set of canisters here, because if you don't go up the staircase all the way to the other end of the level, and you beat this boss, ow, I got shot. When you beat this boss, you will automatically progress to the next area, and you won't be able to get them. Yeah. Actually, punching this thing is probably not the best choice. You either want to punch its blows back out like I did a minute ago, or these enemies it spawns can also be hit towards it to do, as you see there, a pretty hefty chunk of damage. It's pretty nice. Pretty sure I'll be killing it momentarily. And it shoots rockets, and if you punch a rocket or hit it in any way, or I think even just dodge it in slow-mo, it'll be turned on the enemy. It'll turn on your side, it'll turn red, and it'll start targeting the nearest enemy. And explosions are cool. You can see that. I'll show you that later. And that'll be the end of this episode. Come back next time for part 2, where we fight our first boss.